We got the whole world in his hand. We got Monster Texas Meat Pit. Best barbecue in
the
Texas.
Iconic whoosh, a tasty wall of steam. The epic, the smells in here are wild.
That
It's
looks
delicious.
good.
The legendary barbecue of the Salt Lake Barbecue. And I cannot wait for you to see this. This is a tremendous mountain of meat. As a straight guy, I've never been surrounded by so much meat and loved it so much.
Hey, yo.
It's really great. Right now, we are located in the beautiful hill country of Texas.
I'm pretty sure
Here at
there's
this
more
restaurant,
meat
they have
for
been
you,
smoking
buddy.
meat since 1967. What's really incredible about this place is a meat pit like you've never seen before. It is like 8 feet wide and covered with hundreds of pounds of meat. This is the biggest barbecue operation I've seen anywhere in Texas. They can seat over 700 people here. Today, I'm gonna get an inside look at how this place works. Let's go inside. Eric?
How you doing?
Pleasure being here. I'm very excited. As soon as I saw the photo of this pit, I knew I had to come here one day, and I'm
Yeah,
glad
that's
to show my
fire
audience
right
how
there.
this all works. This is like the most iconic part of the restaurant right here, right?
It is very unusual to have a barbecue restaurant where you go like, hey, we want to have an open fire pit that the public can come check out.
That's cool
and
as
also
hell.
at the same time have an insurance policy. It's kind of crazy, but yet here we are.
Can you tell me some of the greatest hits on the grill right now?
So the greatest hits going.
Hey, that's just
clockwise.
fun
We
to cook
have
right
beef ribs
there.
up front, bison ribs right behind, chicken, got a turkey in the center, brisket in the back. I got some decals, or you can call it crown, call it moist cut, pork ribs, sausage,
Basically every animal you could find in Texas.
pretty much. Oh, we also have pulled pork back there too.
Oh my God, I've been to so many different barbecue places in Texas, places like Black's, but there's nothing like this. And so what are you doing differently here and why?
For us, this is actually based on traveling on wagon train. So our cooking process, people would build a fire, they would put out a grate, and then they would cook. And when the wind would kick up, you'd build an earthen berm around it just to keep the wind down. And that is literally what this represents.
So this is a sneak peek right here. Soon we're gonna come back. I'm gonna be trying a bunch of this meat and experiencing it for the first time. Before that, we wanna go back into the kitchen and see the smokers and see how some of this is made from the beginning. Shall we go?
Let's go.
All right.
So back here, this is where all the prep happens. You can actually see pies literally coming out of the oven as we
Texas
speak.
ass
Take a look at
music,
this.
bruh.
Some beautiful, warm pecan pies right here.
To the smoker.
All right, now we're going to the smoker. This part is incredible. I've never seen smokers this big.
All right, we actually have 4 smokers. They are all roughly this
I mean,
size.
take a look at this. Boom. Okay, so right here we have pork ribs. About how many pork ribs would you say are
You
inside?
got all that shit ready
I
there.
honestly don't know. We got dozens of pork ribs.
And then how long do these smoke in here?
These smoke for about 4 hours. These are about maybe a third of the way done.
I can say the smells in here are wild. It's delicious.
It's a Carolina style, even though we are a Texas company. So we base throughout the entire cooking process.
And so it's always wet rub.
Yes. So as you can see, we got our basting
Wet
process
rub.
going on right here.
How many times do you stop the cooking process to baste and rebaste?
About 3 times.
So it's just constantly about getting more and more.
Constantly. And then once we get up to the
Hey, you
front,
get all
it's just
that flavor.
It's like layers of paint.
pretty much, yes.
All right, so you have the actual basting liquid here.
So just our regular barbecue sauce is just going straight on, just adding some of that num-nums to it.
And what is literally exactly inside of this barbecue sauce?
It is a mustard-based sauce. There's some other stuff. It's actually a proprietary secret recipe. One person actually makes
Well, he
the
not
spice
trying to-
mixture for it, and then somebody else makes
He's
the
gatekeeping.
sauce. Or no, one person has the entire recipe.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that secret?
Yes, that's secret.
That is intense. All right, right here we have the briskets. Whoosh, a tasty wall of steam. Oh, here they come for the brisket. How long will that
We
smoke?
need that
21
TikTok guy to
24
figure it out.
That's a long time. And the goal there, when it's done, is there a certain texture you're going for?
For us, we obviously don't want it like so far gone that it starts to shred.
Yeah, they're not mushy.
Yeah.
It still has some bite to it, but really soft, tender, succulent, decadent. Oh my God, I'm so hungry right now. I didn't eat breakfast. So the beef ribs here seem a little bit smaller than what I've seen in other places. Is that intentional?
It just works for us for size-wise, just because we give 2 per plate, 2 per order. So if you had like 2 giant ribs, we want to leave a little bit of room. So if you want something else, you're not like, oh, I'm totally stuck.
Yeah, no, I like the size. I don't think bigger isn't necessarily better. I mean, that's why I tell my wife every night. But anyways.
Bruh.
So we're bringing ribs out right now. We're about to reload. For our specific
Relax,
cooking process,
sonny.
we take everything about 3/4 of the way, and then we'll chill it down. Day of, we'll pull whatever protein we need, and then we'll finish it that last quarter. And then everything goes up front.
Are you finishing it here or on the
We're actually
grill?
finishing it in one more smoker right around the corner.
Okay.
And then if we need to, we also have an auxiliary smoker outside as well.
Oh, wow. So these pork ribs right here, there's about 96, almost 100 that are gonna fit just on this portable vehicle. Cart. These are gonna head to a blast chiller soon. They're only basically halfway done being prepared. They're gonna be cooled down. Later, they'll be reheated and finished and served. This is a tremendous mountain of meat. As a straight guy, I've never been surrounded by so much meat and loved it so much. Here, we've got some raw cuts. If I had to guess, I'm gonna go with half a chicken, beef ribs.
Pork ribs.
Pork ribs. And then beef brisket?
Beef brisket.
For those who don't know, beef brisket is cow breast, which is different than a cow's udder. This part.
Got it.
Okay, what are we doing here?
All right, we're here.
I mean,
We're gonna do a little
that's
bit
one
of
way of
seasoning.
explaining
It is
it.
salt, cayenne, black pepper. We're gonna salt everything
lechera.
up. We can never go too heavy on the salt. I know it's hard to see, but it is definitely going on there. And then we will.
Moving on to the cayenne, yep.
Everything is seasoned in the same way to begin with, except for our prime rib, which we have on Sunday, which actually adds garlic. Want to get your hand on that?
Plain hand?
Plain hand, go on. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, the cayenne pepper is so soft. Oh, look at this. I'm gonna snort some of that later. It really clears the sinuses.
It does. From here, we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. Some of those flavors
Oh, that
incorporate.
flavor.
Also with the salt, it takes a little bit of the moisture out. And then it's gonna get prepped. Sit for a bit, go in the smoker, high heat sear, then slow and low for quite a while.
Unless you come here every day, I'm not sure why you come to get the chicken. I'm not talking smack about the chicken, but I'm looking at the chicken. That versus beef ribs, I'm gonna go beef ribs. Why do folks opt for the chicken?
So if you wanna have quarter pound of brisket, a couple pork ribs, a little bit of chicken, split it with somebody else. You just get a little bite here, a little bite there, a little moose boosh.
But that's a good
Very
place
nice
to go.
Very impressive.
For, like,
I mean,
family.
The real test to me is the chicken breast. Anybody can
We
make
could
good
split
dark
it.
meat.
It's a
But
lot of
how's
food.
that breast?
Juice is running clear. We can cut some up if you want, actually.
Oh, I would love that. Let's do that. All right, so this is the legendary chicken you were just speaking of right here. It cooks down a bit. It's lost a little bit of weight. Oh, it looks great. So that's the breast. You want some
A
too? I
little bit
feel
of pink in
selfish.
there, isn't it?
Might as well.
Chicken breast.
Here we go.
That's tasty. The sauce in there is a little bit sweet. It's still succulent. It's still juicy. So right here, that is the drummy. And would you look at the skin on there? There's a sheen. It's shiny like Pamela Anderson on Baywatch. Very current reference. Oh my God, that's really good. Juicy, incredible sauce on the outside. You can taste the layers of flavor. What else do we have here?
We also have our sausage right here. It's a half beef, half pork mixture.
Thank you. Let's try it out.
Cheers.
Wow. Oh, that's delicious. A little bit smoky, incredibly juicy. But it doesn't feel like
Can't
overly
go
heavy.
wrong
It's a
with
beautiful
that.
combination of beef and pork. Like they're both giving their best. I feel like a lot of people do a little bit less pork. So why 50-50?
For us, it's the perfect combination. It's the perfect grind that we've found. Instead of having sausage that it's chewy, like there's big bits of beef and pork. It's nice. It's almost like a kielbasa style.
Then we have the turkey. This is a turkey what?
This is a turkey breast.
It looks like a freaking ostrich breast.
Yes. Yeah, from here we're gonna slice it up.
Oh, let's see it.
That looks
oh,
good,
look at that
though.
meat.
There we go.
Thank you. Cheers.
Looks kind of
Cheers.
dry. But I don't know.
I like that even more than the chicken. It's even more juicy.
Oh, no,
How
never
did it
mind.
be so juicy?
It's just low and slow, attention to temperature, and then just pulling it at the right amount of time.
Incredible. All right, so this is just a taste, kind of an appetizer. There's a lot more to come because look at everything that there is here. So I think the only thing left to do is to grab a bunch of meat, sit down, and try it out. My man, thank you so much.
No problem.
Everything is built up to this moment right here, sitting outside.
Oh,
of this
yeah,
place.
that's it right
Vast.
there.
We have our own whole table section right here, and we've got all this meat and sides too. Let's take a tour of the platter right here. As usual, we're in Texas, so we got some pickles, we got some onions, a little bit of acid to cut through all that heaviness. We've got some bread, coleslaw, beans, potato salad, 2 types of barbecue sauce, regular, spicy, and
You need
then
mac
we've
and
got
cheese,
an array
huh?
of meats. Right here, beef ribs. These are quite a bit smaller than the ribs I tried at Black's Barbecue. My observation with the giant beef ribs is that they're so big, they might as well be brisket because there's just so much volume and so much meat there. This feels different. This feels like it has more surface area. It's not just this big, gigantic piece of unruly meat. I'm gonna peel some of that off. Oh, it comes off nicely. Let's try it out. That's so good. It's so different from a giant, big, huge beef rib. There's more of this caramelized area on the outside. It's still soft and juicy on the inside. Here, bison ribs. You can see the actual rib is so much thinner than the beef rib. I'm gonna try to peel some of that meat off. Oh, look at it come off. This is what I love about Texas. This is probably the one state in the USA where you can get really unique game meats. Game meats you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, whether it's antelope or crocodile. As long as it's legal, you're gonna find it here in Texas. And I love that they're smoking bison ribs. Let's try that out. Soft, flavorful, beautiful texture to the meat. It's not just this super soft, gooey mass. It still has a mixture of textures, which I really enjoy. Cleanse the palate with the Diet Coke. Oh, that's a Diet Pepsi. Who gave me Diet Pepsi? Let's talk sides. Right here, we got beans. The other day, we met this Egyptian guy doing barbecue, and he said he doesn't understand why in Texas, when people eat barbecue, they pair it with other heavy things like potatoes and beans. Usually, when you see brisket in Texas, it's not paired with rice, right?
No, it's paired with heavier things like mac and cheese and beans, and it's something I never really
I
understood.
mean, you
why.
can, but
Well, here we are. They are tasty beans. For me, I prefer a coleslaw that's really runny. Basically, I like mayonnaise with little bits of chopped up cabbage. This is more just cabbage. Oh. A little sour, a little sweet. I like it. Here we have pulled pork. Looks absolutely gorgeous.
That's a
The way
lot
it's
of
just
food
broken
for
down
one
and
person,
pulled
bro.
apart with so little effort. This would be beautiful if you put it inside of a sandwich.
if we
slap
can
some
eat
more
all that
barbecue
in
on
one
there.
sitting, damn,
Great
bro.
texture. No super strong flavor, but I think that's why you gotta hit it with a little bit of this. Put some more barbecue on there and throw it back. Barbecue is such a way of life here, and it's something I envy. As someone from Minnesota, yeah, we have our own cool things. We have lutefisk. You know what that is? Yeah, that's
Hell
pickled
no.
fish. Basically just as good as this. It's not. Next, pork ribs. These are the perfect amount of softness. You don't want it too soft. You don't want it too tough. You want to be in the Goldilocks zone. So I'm able to pull the meat out pretty easily. That is glistening. It's shiny. Oh, yeah. It's got texture. It's got flavor. Literally, it has layers of sauce.
Like a good
Layers
spot
of
to
flavor.
go to,
Oh,
bro.
so cleanse hut. Right here, we have burnt ends. When the brisket is black on the outside, I used to think it was literally burnt. That is called a bark. And this bark has some bite. You hear that? It's like almost crispy. A deep caramelized flavor. Absolutely stunning. Fantastic. I can't believe I made my way through most of the tray already. One thing remains right here, the brisket. When you order brisket, you have to be aware. You should know that each brisket has a drier portion to it, and each brisket has a fattier portion to it. Which one you buy is kind of up to you. And for me, look at me. What do you think? I like the fatty part. Looks like they sprayed it with baby oil. It's shimmering so
Hey,
much.
yo.
Oh man, it's not like I just like it. It's like, bro, I respect you. Like, you've been through some
Right.
shit. Oh my God. That is the perfect texture. You can see it's soft and succulent. It's not overdone. It's not crazy fatty and oily.
It's
It's
just
so
right.
satisfying. Smoky, soft, still has some bite to it. Absolutely delicious. And that sauce. Here, obviously, it's not pure Texas. Texas barbecue, it's a lot more salt, pepper, garlic. Here, they're slathering barbecue on their meat. Oh. I know you're watching this video, you don't get it. You're like, yeah, it's meat, whatever. No, I wish I could crawl through your freaking phone
Yeah.
screen, slap you in the face, and hand you a piece of brisket. But we're still working
Come
on
on,
that
then.
technology. In the meantime, you gotta take my word for it, or bring your butt here to freaking Salt Lick Barbecue. So that's it. In
Salt
one moment,
Lick
we're gonna
Barbecue.
conclude this video, and I'm gonna tell you which food was my absolute favorite today. Boom, guys, that is the end of the video here at Salt Lick Barbecue in Driftwood, Texas. I hope you enjoyed it. My gosh, some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. I must say my favorite thing was beef ribs. Fantastic. Different than any other beef ribs I've ever had in Texas. I love the smaller size. They're caramelized. They're crunchy in some parts. They're soft in some parts. Succulent. It's just like crack made out of meat. And I'm addicted, and now I'm a fiend. Next time you see me, I'll be fresh out of recovery. Before you guys go, I want to say a huge thank you right here to Chanda. Thank you for joining me. This trip here in Austin and surrounding areas would not have been possible without her. You can follow Chanda right here on Instagram. She's doing pop-ups featuring
Chanda.
Cambodian food all the time. Very interesting, very delicious. Give her a follow on Instagram and see when the pop-ups are coming to a place near you. Go
That'll be it for today. Thanks for watching. Peace out.